Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mandcave, the only podcast hosted by two boiling best friends with nothing in common except their first names. I'm Mandy Fabian.
And I'm Mandy Kaplan, and each week we test the limits of our friendship by debating over The Bachelorette and all the other garbage I love and Mandy doesn't. Grab a couch, let's get to it.
Cut this shit.
But I have Bachelorette updates, of course. Okay, so this week we saw Rachel go home with Avon, who you didn't see.
Yeah, Jesus
and
Christ. Wait, there's a new guy?
No, I mean, for some reason, he wasn't included in all the hometowns. They were like, we're going to save his hometown for next week.
Because he's homeless? Now, that would be interesting. At least it would be a searing documentary on the homeless. Like, then I would watch. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's just very handsome and says the word like every other word, so he's hard to take.
That's so weird. I wonder how he got cast. Okay, go ahead.
And here's the deal. His parents both said to her, like, this is weird because it's TV and we can't trust you and can't trust, this process or whatever.
Yep.
Do you genuinely love our son?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And she was like, I can see myself having a future with him. And that's like what she said to both of them. And it was so like, you're trying to back your way out of this now, right? I mean, like,
wow.
I don't know. It was interesting. She didn't say, yeah, I love him or I'm falling in love with him. It was like, I can see myself having a future.
Now that sounded like Gabby, but you said it was Rachel.
It is Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think Gabby's more like breathy like this and Rachel's more like just like this. But very distinct, fascinating ladies. Okay, so that's the Bachelor update. And then they did the Men Tell All. And it was not as explosive as I wanted it to be.
Because now you know, because now your best friend has told you that it's just a heaping pile of garbage. And so you can't fully love it the way you did before.
Not true. If you think I listen to you or you hold any sway over my opinions, you are sadly mistaken.
I have no illusion that I hold any sway over your opinions. Isn't that, I mean, we're so lucky that our friendship isn't based on that. Because if it was, that'd be...
I am who I am.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But okay, then the only other thing I'll say about my life and things that you don't care about.
Is it about The Bachelor? God.
No.
All right. What?
Fantasy football is starting. Like football season is coming. Thursday night's the first game. And I have 2 drafts today and Wednesday. And I'm like giddy. And our whole house is just fantasy talk all the time.
A flutter with football. Wow.
Love it.
Well, good for you. That's exciting. Okay.
Thank
then
you.
That brings me to, I think I probably need to tell you why I am going to Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Is Patrick doing something for the Steelers?
Holy shit. He is doing everything for the Steelers. Let me tell you. So there's a hype video at the beginning of the game, right? That they play in the stadium that everybody goes nuts for. Patrick has been offered he is the voice of the hype video.
Oh, fun.
And we're going to Pittsburgh and we're going to be at the opening game of the opening season, whatever.
Wow.
I don't even know what it is, but it's Pittsburgh. And then, so we're going to get to be in this, all of us, the kids, us, and his brother and sister, maybe his mom and dad are going to get to like watch the video with his voice. And then he's going to, is there such a thing as like throwing the first ball, or he does something at the beginning? Maybe he tosses a towel.
Coin.
Maybe he twirls the towel. I'm not sure.
He might twirl a towel because that's what Steeler Nation does.
Yeah, I think he's twirling a towel.
Okay.
So it's funny. It's at once the gayest and straightest thing he's ever done. Like it just defines everything that's perfect about my man,
Oh.
Twirling a towel and football fan.
This podcast brought to you by the word twirl. Right? If you're playing a drinking game with the word twirl, you're pretty happy right now.
And if you're not, why weren't you?
Right.
Like you should always be ready. So that's why we're going to Pittsburgh.
I'm so jealous. That's so cool.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. We'll FaceTime you from the... Yeah.
Call us.
So you can see it.
Yeah, rub it in. That's great. Thanks.
Well, share my victories. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. I'm really, really happy for you.
Thank you. So that's why we're going to Pittsburgh. So that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's going on over here. So do you want to dive in? Like,
I'm excited to talk about this movie, but yeah.
Is there any other content? I mean, did you watch anything interesting this week that you wanted to share?
Oh, we started a fun show. It's a Greg Garcia comedy. He did Raising Hope. Maybe My Name is Earl. And it's called Sprung.
Oh.
And it's cute. And it made us laugh a few times. Martha Plimpton is so funny and so not self-conscious. And I love it. So it's the same cast as
Raising Hope.
Raising Hope. I want to say Hope floats every time. Garrett Dillahunt gets out of prison because of COVID. So I guess a lot of prisons did release people early because of COVID. So he gets out of prison and he's like, what is this epidemic? And he moves in with Martha Plimpton and she's a small-time criminal. And it's like, it's funny. It's funny.
That's very exciting. Oh, I'm
What
excited.
about you?
Thank you for the recommendation. We watched a kind of obscure, a little too long, was it Norwegian?
Oh God, everything you're saying sounds terrible.
It was a Swedish film. It's one of the other countries. It might start with an F. It's one of those, and Finland maybe? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's nominated for an Oscar or was an Oscar nominee.
Okay.
For 2022. What year are we in? It was.
Yeah.
It was So it was a foreign film. It was delightful. Can't remember the name, but I will by the next podcast. I just now remembered that I watched it because I watched it the same day I watched I Love You, Dad.
I love my dad.
Yeah, I love my dad.
You started that description of that movie with slightly too long. And I was already out. So everything you said after that was just confirming I will never see whatever you watched.
I don't know how you are, but anytime anything is subtitled, I get this feeling at the beginning like I'm like, this better be good because I can't fall asleep and keep track of it. You know what I mean? Because you have to read what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, sometimes I'm a little bit like, we'll see. But I mean, that was not the case with Call Your Agent or Call My Agent.
Right.
Which was one of the best television shows on the planet. Could not love it more.
My husband agrees. I don't.
Oh, God. Well, your husband is right. On a lot of fronts. We have a spreadsheet going and we'll share it with you. I think this is the week.
I hope so.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was, we did a lot of outdoorsy time because it's so freaking hot. We did a lot of like beach time and, Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about I love my dad. I love you, Dad. I love my dad.
I love my dad.
God, why can't I remember that? It's the coffee. Patton Oswalt.
Yep.
The other guy.
Written, directed by, and starring James Morosini.
Yes.
Who I recognized from Girlfriend's Guide to College. Or Girl's Guide to College. Or Girl's Sex Guide to Sexing
Sex
College.
Lives of College Girls?
Yes. Is that what it's called? Something like that. With Mindy Kaling's show? Yeah.
Yes. Sex Lives of College Girls. Yes, I love that show.
Yeah. So that he was familiar from that. The writer, director, star.
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Pete, play the trailer, please.
Oh, we're going to play the trailer.
I know what I said last week, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything they want to say? Franklin?
I took some steps in setting healthy boundaries and blocked my dad online. He's never really been there for me when I needed him, and I'm done with that.
Did you delete your profile? It's kind of the main way I was staying in touch with you.
My ex blocked me one time, and I just started a different page under a different name. I'll check it all the time. She never even knew. I just started a different page under a different name.
I met someone online. She's like smart, funny.
And you've like talked to her on the phone and stuff?
Obviously.
Soup. So, how's it?
So, how's it going?
Good.
This is creepy as This was your idea. That was my ex-girlfriend. This is your child. I mean, what if he's already masturbating to this?
Would you be up for a quick phone call? It's just a little weird that we've never actually talked.
Could you call him and be the voice?
What are you wearing?
Sweatpants and a Red Sox shirt. What about you?
Just a dress. No panties.
This is incest.
No, it's not. I'm doing this to help him.
He thinks he's in a relationship.
This girl's the love of my life.
Keep your expectations low. She could be like mean or a scammer or your dad.
Well, okay, so this was the reason that I found this movie personally, me first. It was written up. It was in South by Southwest this year. It won the audience award. It won like the jury prize for, special narratives achievement. And it's a true story. Okay, it's a true story about this guy who breaks up with his dad essentially, and then his dad catfishes him, sets up an account under the guise of being a pretty young girl, and starts to have a relationship with his son. It's true. Like, it's maybe not every moment of it is true, but it is based on a real story. And he's not saying how much of it is true and how much of it isn't, which is just brilliant marketing.
He is saying that the initial premise was true. His dad pretended he was a hot young girl and friended him on social media.
Yes.
Which is amazing. But then he said it didn't really go that far after that. But then it launched that idea for him. Well, what if it had gone farther? What if?
Right.
So
that's interesting.
I read an interview with him and he was like, it did not go that far. But it was a really weird idea.
The movie. Yeah. It didn't go as far as the movie, but it said some of the things were true that you saw in the movie.
Yeah, I wondered. So he's like, initially, this hot girl, Becca, friends him on Facebook, and he's like, hey. And she's like, hey. And then they start just having really banal, like, what's up? Not much. How you doing? Whatever. And I was like, I wonder if that's transcribed directly from actual text. Right? Because those things I could see being real.
Right.
And I was so curious to know, like, did he just look back on his phone and go, here, let me just type this right into the script word for word, what our first couple of conversations were like.
Right. That's interesting. I'm sure they will never tell us, or maybe they'll tell us later when the movie needs another bump in the press. Like, I would be very, very curious to know the actual real story of when it actually stopped. And how much of this is imagined, because the premise is just too good. And I love the way that they chose. I was very surprised. To be honest, like, I wasn't sure about the movie. Kind of got like a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes or something. Like, I was like, I'm not sure if it's going to be as good as like that idea is. But I really was surprised by how much I laughed out loud, like hard, and how much I loved the premise and how much I loved the creativity of, instead of it just being texting back and forth and using that device, they chose to use a device where instead of so you show what he's imagining. So instead of him writing this girl, he puts this girl right in front of him as if they're in the same space. And as he's falling in love with her, they show him like running with her and being goofy and as if they're having a real relationship. Of course, it's all in his head, but they choose to shoot it with her actually there. And the whole time that it's the dad saying the things that she's saying. And it's really, I think it's a very authentic, clever device.
I loved it.
Yeah.
One of my biggest complaints, as you know, is how much texting we see in movies and TV shows and what a cop out it is. And we saw very little for a movie entirely about texting. We saw very little of it. And so I loved it. And then, so yes, he's imagining, instead of being texting with her, they're sitting next to each other, like out on his roof. Yeah. And she's right there, and it's romantic and it's flirty and it's fun. But then they would like swap in Patton Oswalt to remind us that like it's really It's really him. It's really his dad saying these things and typing these things. And I don't want to give away some of the biggest laughs, but these were some of the hardest laughs I've had from a movie in a long time. And I want to give full credit for that to James Morosini, who let us build up and build up. The best kind of laughter is when you're like, oh, no, that's not really going to happen. No. And then it happens and you just get the release of it was so well crafted that way. And there are for me, there were 3 major laughs, but the build up to them was so much fun. Yeah. It's like good, creeping up a roller coaster and then.
Yes. Can we pause for 1 second? I'm so sorry. I just realized my notes of the things I want to talk about are on my phone and I didn't bring my phone in. Can I go grab it real quick?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Pete. Just give me 1 minute.
All right, Mandys. Wait, she left with her headphones. Take off those headphones. So here's some bonus content for you. Wait, how can you hear me? You're not in your booth.
It's Bluetooth. It's magic.
Oh, okay. Fancy. All right.
I love your booth monologues, though. Okay, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to, because there are a couple of... Okay, great.
Okay. Well, I would like to, while I'm praising James Morosini, which I don't think I can do enough, but the first scene of the film tells us so much and it is so well done. Patton Oswalt, it's like a flashback of when he was a kid and Patton Oswalt gives him a puppy and then rips up the lost puppy poster. And
they find a dog and the kid's like, can we keep him? And he's like, of course we can. And then
so shady and desperate to just, win his kid's love. It's so gross. And then over the opening credits are messages the dad is leaving the kid and he's stalking his kid. Pete, could you play some of the messages? Not the whole thing because it does go on long, but at 1:37, Pete, play some of those messages.
Frankie, just wanted to call and wish you a very happy birthday. I know it's been a minute. Saw you and your mom went on vacation. That looked nice. We should go on one of these days. Hey, Franklin, just wanted to say sorry again that the whole Bahamas trip didn't pan out. The coupons were totally fake. They lied. Idiots. Anyway, next year, love you. Hey, Frankie, not sure what your mom told you about what happened, but if you give me a call, I can explain my side of things. Always 2 sides to a story. Okay, gotta run. Love you. Hey, Franklin, just wanted to call and let you know that I wasn't lying the other day. I was sick, and so that's why I had to reschedule. Anyways, I don't want to fight. I love you. Hey, Franklin, wanted to give you a heads up that I'm not going to be able to make it to your graduation today. Your mom and I haven't been in a good spot lately, and I'm thinking it's better we do our own celebration next time I see you. Anyways, hope you're well, and let's catch up soon. Love you.
Those messages end at 3 minutes in, and we already have a clear, concise picture of who these 2 characters are.
Yes.
And I thought it was so well done.
Yeah. Agreed. It's such an interesting open credits, right? Because you're looking at the names, but you're also getting so much of the story at the same time. It was such a perfect way to ease into a movie. I loved it.
And you're cringing already. And this movie is a cringe fest. And right, tonally, perfection. How desperate, the dad being like, hey, sorry I didn't make it to this. Sorry I didn't make it to that. And all the lies and all the justifying his bad behavior. Yeah. And so you're like, if you don't have a resting bitch face on by that point, then you're not human. It's awful.
And I gotta say, I love Patton Oswalt, but I think this might be one of his best things. I think he was really good in this. And the fact that he's funny because he has a face that sometimes you're like, oh, dude, you're a bad dude. But he's also inherently very likable, I think. He has a very guy next door, sweet, almost teddy bear, pug dog face.
I agree.
So he managed to make this guy really likable. You were really rooting for him while he is also obviously a terrible liar, like a compulsive liar. And he never strays from that through the whole movie. It's so interesting. You keep thinking he's going to have this moment where he's like, you know what? I'm a good person. And even when it comes right down to it, he still can't. Like it's really interesting.
I love Patton Oswalt. I always have. I love his stand-up. I love him as an actor, a dramatic actor. I've seen him do beautiful work. So I was on board. But I think the reason we don't hate his dad and the reason we feel such sympathy is, again, James Morosini.
Yeah.
In the Variety article I read said, the film is shockingly empathetic towards Chuck, the father, while never pulling any punches about how terrible he can be. And I won't read his whole quote, but James Morosini is like, I love my father. And, he really, really messed up. And he continues to mess up, but I love him and I respect it. Like so he's got this beautiful forgiveness to his dad.
Yeah. It's really lovely. And also, just the basic conceit of the movie, you know that he's doing this because he loves his son, because he's trying to connect. And on some level, this relationship with this fake girl lights up his life. I don't know if James Morosini was suicidal, really, if that was part of
I would highly doubt it.
Yeah. But, this kid is really lost and really lonely. And then this fake girl comes in and he lights up and he starts to gain all this self-esteem and he's excited about being alive and it wakes him up. And you're like, oh no, his dad is doing the best thing for him, but it's also all based on a lie, which is his fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it's so good. But I want to get back to, I want to get back to some of the laughs in this movie.
Sure.
I would love to share them with our fandies. There's the scene, there were laughs all the way through, but I could not stop myself. There's a scene at 28:32 when things start to go a direction that Patton Oswalt doesn't necessarily see coming. It's, can I pretend kiss you? So, Pete, can you just play that scene, please?
I need to see. Come on now. I don't even hear nothing about your boy's dick. This your son's dick you talking about. I said I'm not trying to. If I stop now, it'll crush him. I need to see it through.
Camera's broke.
I'm video chatting you.
Right now.
Yes, it says it's calling you.
It's not coming through. It's still not working?
It's being weird.
I'll take my phone in today.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hey.
I like you.
I like you too.
I pretend kiss you?
Look, you asked for my help, internet kiss your son.
Ew!
Come on, who cares? It's not even real.
You kiss your son, you fuck!
If I had a son, I would kiss him.
That's gross!
Damn it, look, do you love him?
Yes!
How much?
A lot!
Then fucking kiss him already!
So...
I don't know how I don't know if everyone understands what happened by playing it because it's not dialogue.
Oh, no, they're typing back and forth. It's the I'm kissing you. So yes, we should explain visually. Yeah. Right.
I know what happens.
So they're typing and then it gets a little sexual. Like he just wants to kiss this girl. And so does it show? It shows him believing that he's kissing her.
He's leaning in to kiss her.
And then it shows Patton Oswalt. Now his son has appeared in his apartment and he has to kiss his son. And he's going, he's kissing him while
with tongue. With tongue.
Yeah. Well, this scene with him, with the son and this imaginary girl is like the camera's panning around them and it's beautiful and they're having this romantic moment. And then it's intercut with Patton Oswalt dying because he's like, oh God.
And it keeps going. It doesn't let up.
Oh, it's so good. It's just, It was such a shock and so brilliantly done. And then they can get so much mileage out of that through the rest of the movie. It's just so fun and you've bought so into these relationships that every time they remind us, to your point, that it's really Patton Oswalt doing this with his kid. You're like, oh God. Brilliant.
Yeah, I guess we should state up top that this is going to have tons of spoilers. So please go watch the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Then come back and listen to this because it's, I wasn't sure if we were going to really go there and reveal that.
Oh, right.
But we're allowed to. We make the rules.
That's true.
But, that amount of cringe is perfection to me. Watching, so Jer was like, that was too cringy for me, a father and a son kissing. And I was like, they didn't cast a real father and son. Right? It wasn't Lloyd and Beau Bridges. So I was fine with it. It was,
and it's imaginary.
2 actors.
It's right. It's set up in this guy's head, and he's like, "Oh no, I put myself in this situation where I'm kissing my son."
Oh, watch it! It was like just the slowest. Oh God! And that's what I'm talking about. It's built so well towards that payoff, and then it happens again with a massive sexting sequence. That.
Again.
So, which they set up. Oh God! This guy James Morosini is so smart.
Yeah.
He sets up that one of the ways his dad, Chuck, has lied. He's like, it's so fucked up. My dad used to play online chess and proudly cheated players by setting up 2 chess games, one with a computer, one with a real person. And then he was essentially having the computer beat this real person every time because he was playing the computer's moves.
Right.
And that's what he does with the sexting. He gets like his former girlfriend to start sexting with him so he can use her comments and what she's saying. And it is masterfully done. So and it is the whole time you're like, no. And you're laughing and it keeps going and it doesn't let up. And too cringy for Jer and maybe too cringy for some people. Perfectly.
No. Yeah.
Perfect amount for me.
Me too. And I have to say, again, I loved Rachel Dratch in this, and I don't usually love her in things. And she was so good in this.
So she played, so we know I have the taste of a 12-year-old boy, and I love the TV show King of Queens, where Patton Oswalt played one of the friends for years and years and years.
Yep.
And she played his girlfriend on the show. And they were adorable together. She only did maybe like 5 episodes, but they were really cute and had a real chemistry. And so I wonder how long they've been friends or if he just said, I'm not doing it unless my buddy Rachel does it. But we've never seen her be genuine. Yeah. We always see her doing a voice, a character, a wacky bit. This is just her playing a real woman working in an office, trying to have a boyfriend.
And I loved it. It's so interesting. Too. Yes. I was like, has she just been directed to do this other stuff? Or did she or was she directed away from that other stuff? Because she's so naturally funny and so winning. I mean, she was so good in this. I loved it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. The other person who I think is amazing in this, he's always amazing, but Lil Ray.
Lil Rel.
Rel? Oh, I thought it was Ray. Sorry. Lil Rel. Oh my God, his timing, and he takes this tiny, tiny little part and is so funny. And I want to play another scene that it's at 37:55. And this is when Gil is planning. He's decided he has a solution for how to solve his lie, and his friend is freaking out. His friend played by Lil Rel. Okay, Pete, play the clip.
I'm taking a road trip with my son.
Chuck, she's not real.
My Becca's not real.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to introduce him to the real Becca, the one from the diner.
Abort!
Let me explain.
So your plan is to introduce your son to this random diner girl.
She's a nice girl, he's a great kid, and they're gonna hit it off.
She's a total stranger.
She's a nice girl who makes face at kids. She's funny.
You're about to ruin your son's life.
I'm here.
Chuck, listen to me, okay? Come clean and just tell him everything. tell him and face the consequences. But don't do this. Don't be a fucking idiot, Chuck.
Whatever it takes, Jimmy.
He's gonna find out.
Whatever it takes.
Okay. I was dying laughing at this. His freak out was so genuine and funny. I could listen to him all day. He's just masterful.
I'm so sick of him doing the same thing in every movie. This is all he does. This is it. I find him to be completely one note and very self-aware and very like, really? I'm so funny. Look at what I'm saying now. I'm so funny and I know it. And I don't think he's funny in this.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I really I liked him a lot in Get Out when that was my first awareness of him.
Oh.
And think about it. This is the same exact role.
Right.
I'm the exasperated voice of reason. That's all he does. And I'm over it. So I wrote, can Lil Rel please do something else, please?
Okay. I don't think that I only remembered him. I don't remember him from Get Out because I saw it a long time ago. And I remember him from that movie that I hated, the Kevin Hart movie. The one, it was a really earnest one where you're like, Kevin's going for some sort of award
with
here.
Bryan Cranston. Was it that earnest one? Oh, no, the one we watched.
Yeah.
When he fights to be with his daughter.
Something about his kid. Yeah. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. That's terrible. Mm-hmm. Hey, well, you know what? This is just a challenge to Mandys. Go back and find that movie and we'll send you $5
Wasn't it called Fatherhood?
Oh, that could be. Yeah, Fatherhood. Sure. Something like that. But yeah, that's the first time I really remember Lil Rel. And I did love him in that. But this, I loved him in because maybe even if this is the only note that he ever plays, man, it was perfect for this part. That's what I'll say.
I guess.
I think he maybe was doing that same shtick in that other movie, but it didn't read to me. It wasn't the right thing for that movie. But this movie, if you're going to bring it, there are comics that only do one thing, right? Like Larry David kind of really just does one thing. But if you put him in that scenario, it's pitch perfect, right?
I guess. I just... I don't know. I feel like I've seen Lil Rel do this a lot, and I'm really just way over it.
Well, I may have been super sucked into this movie, too. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was
Fatherhood.
The end.
I was right. Sorry.
You're always right.
You didn't like the end?
Well, I didn't quite... There was something I didn't quite get about the... I know, I liked the end that he twisted it. Oh, this is a real spoiler. Maybe we shouldn't say the end. So I don't think we should say what happens at the end. But...
Right.
But I will say, the way it was shot, there was something very 80s Mike Nichols about the way it was shot, and I wasn't quite clear. The expressions on the faces.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the last shot of the movie.
Yes. Not how the story ended, I liked it, but the way it was shot, I was a little bit I don't quite get this.
Backing up before then, the climax of the movie.
You said climax.
I did. I miss you. It's by Climax.
Whoa, deep cut. Go ahead.
Not so much. Pete, if you could play some of the music at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 20 seconds. Thank you, Pete. So I loved the way he constructed the climax of the movie. It was silent with this film noir music you just heard.
Oh, yeah.
And it was every piece of shit hitting every fan all at once and phone calls being made and people screaming and phones being dropped. And it was very, dun, 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 really epic. And I really liked it. And Jer was like, that's a cop-out. Because there was no dialogue until the very end of it. But I really thought it was just inventive. And for a movie that used invention and interesting camera pans where it's one person, then it's another person speaking. And I was like, yeah, this is experimental filmmaking that I really enjoyed. It didn't feel experimental for experiment's sake. It felt like I have a clear vision of how I want this big climax of this movie to go, and I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
And so... Did you like it?
I did like it. it's funny. I see what Jer's talking about because some of it felt a little like maybe a little student filmy because every time you sort of, you just really step outside. What he said. Yeah, you step outside the convention of something and then it feels a little bit more like a film student trying something out, but I liked it. And I loved it. It would be interesting to know if that was his vision or if it was like an early cut of just a basic shot of this, like a basic cut of this didn't quite bring the climactic feel that he wanted and he had to go back and use a bunch of stuff. Like I would be curious to know if it's something that was built after the fact,
right?
Like, to make up for something that he hadn't shot. But even so, the thing about this movie that I think he did such a good job and why I would say it's not film student-y and could be to the vision is because it all has to be this internal, like what we're seeing is this internal journey of this guy, right? It's his private relationship with this woman and him finding out like, how do you make a whole feature out of, oh my God, my dad made a profile and catfished me, Like it had to get the emotional thing of that. It had to be, he had to show the crisis that was his memory. So that was a great way to...
Look at you with the deep observations.
Well, that's right. Yes. He had the cuts and the erraticness. It felt like being inside someone's mind as you start to put the pieces together.
Right.
So that really gave the POV of the character. And I thought like that was very successful because of that.
Yep. And what did you think of Claudia Sulewski? I would like to call her out. She played the dream girl who we thought was only going to be in some profile images. Yeah. And then she's like one of the stars of the movie because they bring her to life. She was so perfectly cast as like the prettiest girl in a small town.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like real attainable beauty.
Yep.
But radiant, and she's only a figment of his imagination. So she's always perfect and she's always like on the same page as him and she's sporty and fun and cool. And it likes video games. Oh, I thought she was great.
Oh, she was. And what I loved about her, I really saw a different performance, right? From her in the cafe, the real her who was like normal with the dad. And then you're right, who she is with the guy is she's not fakey dream girl, but like she amps up enough that she's completely non-resistant to everything he has to say. And she's sweet. And she also has to deliver these lines that are very clearly the dad's objective, but make it believable coming from her. And then at the end, at the end, she plays that so beautifully. As a watcher who knew everything that was going on in the movie, I was like, oh my God, Becca, it's him. Like,
Jer kept forgetting too. Jer was like, oh my God, what's she going to say when she reads that or whatever? I'm like, there is no she. What's wrong with you? It's the dad. But it's constructed so well.
Yeah, it was really at the end. I was so heartbroken. When she's just playing the reality of, I thought she handled that really well because that would that's really challenging for an actor, I think. Someone who knows the script, I don't know. I guess that's why I'm not acting much anymore because just really being able to play the like, you are a total stranger to me. Who the fuck are you?
Right.
Was great. She's so good.
Yeah. I really liked her. Yeah. And I had never seen her or heard of her. So,
agreed.
Good.
She was amazing.
For her.
How incredible. I'm so glad that you loved it as much as you did. That's such a fun.
I loved it. I couldn't stop laughing after the movie. Oh
my God.
We pressed stop and went on to make dinner. And I was like, I can't get it out of my mind. I loved it.
That's great. I watched it alone. Patrick took the girls to go do something. I was like, oh, I'll bang this out. And I wish I hadn't. I didn't expect it to be that good, to be honest. I thought it would be because of the ratings but no, it's worth a watch. It definitely was incredible.
Screw you, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, right. So do you want to give it man jobs? I mean,
I want to give it 4.5.
Ooh, God, man. I like it. I would say the same. We're agreeing. This is very, but that's okay. We're allowed an agreeable.
Well, let's hold on to the little rel disagreement. The minute you started talking, I was like, no, she's not going to say this. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I get it. No, I loved him. Okay. Well, let's get to business, and then I have a game for you, which I think you're going to enjoy. All right.
I'm so excited.
So everybody, listen up. Mandcave is a production of True Story FM. The fantastic people over there. Engineering is by Pete Wright. Thank you, Pete. Music by Ian Post.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah. And if your podcast, please give us some ratings over there at iTunes or the Apple. You can give us the ratings on the Apple. 5 stars is great. But we want you to be honest. And a review is always nice. We love to hear what you think about the show. It helps us grow and makes us happy.
Yes. And join us on Discord. I'm having an issue with Discord, and my channel is gone from my app. So I need to get that fixed.
Oh, I've been chatting it up with people and loving it.
Oh, see, I'm missing out because I can't. It's not on my phone.
Oh, okay.
But head to mandcave.com/Discord and join us in there and make suggestions and tell us how wrong Mandy is about everything. Or become a Fandy, where you get private access to a private Discord channel.
Yes.
You get bonus content, our pre-show every week, a birthday message, and that is mandcave.com/Fandy.
Yes. And also, I sported my Mandcave sweatshirt out yesterday. And the people loved it. They were like, where can I get one of those? And I said, I will tell you, mandcave.com/merch. Really cool sweatshirts, t-shirts. It's on TeePublic. And they're really, really fun. And you'll have a good time and be cozy. You don't need sweatshirts so much right now, but soon, America. So yeah, check us on out. All right.
The boob sweat has started.
Oh my God.
We are in a severe heat wave. If you are not in the Los Angeles area, you don't know this, or maybe you've seen it on the news. Woo. And Mandy and I do our recordings from our voiceover booths, which are not air conditioned, and it is getting very steamy.
Normally fine. So don't worry. This game, it won't take long.
All right.
And it's one of those, just creatively, I'd like to share with all the people, like Mandy and I like to do these games for each other every week. And sometimes it's a challenge, right? You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was really panicking, but I think I've got this is going to hit all levels. The reason I was panicking is I was like, well, what do you do about a dad? What's funny about that? Because my dad and I have had our issues, so it was one of those things like, what game am I going to play without a dad? And everybody has issues with their dad, right? So this week, Mandy.
Yes.
We're going to solve everything and play a fun game.
Thank God.
Yes. Are you ready? So I'm not super in touch with my dad, but not because I don't love him, very much like James Morrisini. Yep. And so I think that this week we are going to build profiles to catfish our dads.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you'll go first.
Okay.
And maybe we won't even get to mine. But this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sort of imagine, who your dad, so we're going to make up a profile.
Halle Berry.
Okay. Really? No, but I don't.
When he saw Monsters Ball, he made very uncomfortable comments about how hot Halle Berry was. And I was like, I'm your daughter. And I don't need to hear you talk like this.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Well, that makes sense. I mean, he and I had that thing at your wedding, but no bigs. Well, okay. So, but he would recognize Halle Berry, but you think we should find a gal who looks like Halle Berry okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So, what is her name?
I would want her to be somewhat age appropriate because I don't think he would be, drawn to a woman in her 30s or something. My dad's in his 70s. So let's go with a name that would be a name of his generation. So I will go with Linda.
Oh, Linda. That's a great name. Okay. Linda means beautiful in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking of your mom. So maybe I should.
I always wanted them to get together. So it's great.
Of course.
I mean, then we would be sisters. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, too bad for both of them being in a relationship, but good for us. Yeah. Okay. So Linda is beautiful, age appropriate, late 60s, early 70s, black woman.
Let's make her early 60s.
Okay. Early 60s, but supermodel gorgeous.
Keep it intriguing. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of bikini photos, or what type of photos are we going to put on her profile?
Oh, no, hiking and stuff.
Okay.
And she's got to have a cat. My dad loves cats. Okay. So she's got a cat and she hikes.
Okay. Well, okay. We're catfishing here. Like, so we need a few hiking pictures. Are we talking Kilimanjaro or are we talking like San Fernando Valley?
He loves New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
So she hikes in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But man,
jazz.
Sorry,
she loves jazz.
Yeah. I'm typing as you're talking and setting up this profile. So give me a second. And also, I mean, I think we need to, she can't be in New Hampshire because she's too accessible, right? Don't we want to put her someplace a little far away?
I mean, I'm imagining she wants to meet him up in the mountains of New Hampshire. So maybe she lives, a few states over.
Okay.
Maybe she lives in Maryland.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's
a little too far to meet up.
Okay, great. So she's a hiker and she lives in Maryland. And what's her story? Like, why is she single? Or is she not single?
She is single.
Okay. Your dad has a thing about that?
I hope so.
Okay, because mine doesn't. So that's, yeah.
No, yeah, she's single. Her kids are grown.
Kids. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And she went to law school and started practicing, but then gave it up to raise her kids.
Okay,
and so now she's 60 and wants to make up for lost time and live life. And she loves jazz. She wants to go to jazz clubs and talk jazz and listen to jazz all the time.
Okay. Are you going to be able to, act as her? Like, maybe she should have a sidebar of musical theater?
No musical theater for him.
Oh God. What are you going to talk about? This is not going to go well.
I have Google. I know jazz vocalists.
Okay.
He's not so, my dad's not so into the vocals, but that he'll see that as a charming difference.
Okay.
When she's like, oh, I don't want to listen to a guitar solo. Right?
Yep. Okay.
I'm into Ella and Dinah Washington. And he'll be like, okay, I respect that. I disagree, but that's cool.
Okay. So, when she reaches out to him, right? Like, what's her ideal first date?
They go to a jazz club and
okay, okay, that works. All right, and does she want marriage?
Food.
Does she want marriage, or is she ready to stay?
She doesn't need marriage. No. Just a companionship and fun and
Okay, good. Well, she sounds delightful.
Yeah,
Linda, what's her last name?
She is. Linda Washington.
Oh, it's good. Well, she's right by DC, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, well, I will forward you this profile. I used your email address just to set it up.
Couldn't we catfish each other's dads? Don't you think that that's a little less awkward, or are we going for it here?
No. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because I already know how to dirty talk your dad. So
I know.
It could get to sexting faster.
Yeah. And I'm a happily married woman, and your dad is apparently into that.
Yeah, that works out.
So this could work out.
Wait, is Linda a happily married woman, though?
No, she's single.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you're going to be you on the profile. I'm going to use your pictures.
No, I messed that up. You're right. I am not an experienced catfisher, although I listen to that podcast, the Neve Schulman podcast. I don't think I would want to watch the show on MTV. That would make me feel gross. But listening to the podcast feels like an elevated version of that. And I have heard every episode of that podcast.
I have to tell you, I don't know what kind of woman I would set up for my dad. Except he's had 5 wives. So I sort of
5 wives.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I will say this.
Republican.
Also age appropriate. I don't think any of them have been Republicans. Weirdly enough. From what I know
that one
of
would
them,
stick.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and make her a Trumpian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's so funny. Yeah. He's a hardcore Republican. Insane. Like back in the day, used to send me the Oliver, oh God, who's the guy who sold the arms to Iran? Why can't I think of his name?
Oliver North.
I was like, Oliver Stone? No, he made the movie
Oliver
about
Twist.
Oliver North.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh God, that was an awful forget. So he used to send me that's our whole relationship is based on him sending me crazy conspiracy theory. Yeah. So you're right. We should riddle her page with MAGA, America First. I think age appropriate is good, but she should definitely be sparkly and a few years younger for sure. And I think she should be like a nurse.
What type? Like what physical? Is there an actress or a...
Annette Bening.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's lovely.
Yeah, just a straightforward. Like Annette Bening is beautiful, but I also feel like she could go Midwestern.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he goes for that Midwestern type a lot. Grew up in South Dakota, makes sense, you know.
Corn-fed, yeah.
Just wants the girl next door so that he can marry her and then start sleeping with the next door girl.
The next one.
Yeah. So it really should be a series of
the girl next
girls.
To the girl next door.
Yes, exactly. We're like
2 doors down.
Yeah. And then, but we'll change it up. Maybe when we get to the third house, maybe for the girl that works for that girl instead of just the girl next door, because the neighborhood starts to get sticky at that point. I said sticky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Bright, you know, I think her interests should include accounting.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't get sexier than
that. And then chocolate labs. She should definitely have 1 to 7 chocolate labs in all of her
That
pictures.
is my least favorite flavor of lab.
Oh.
I think vanilla labs or yellow labs and black labs are so cute. The chocolate ones leave me cold.
Well, this is going to be hard work for you then. You're going to have to pull on your acting boots.
All right.
And just imagine when you're talking about how sexy it is that you guys are like showing up at work with your chocolate labs, that like, just pretend. You'll have to pretend that they're yellow labs or black labs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know you prefer cats anyway.
I do. So this will be a huge challenge. I love dogs, just not chocolate labs. It's just a weird hang up.
Well,
but I don't think your dad and I will have anything actually in common. So everything will be a stretch for me. And I'm willing to do this for the sake of the podcast.
Have you ever met my dad?
No.
Okay. Well, I think you'll be fine because he wouldn't say a word. Like you could just chalk it up and, I think it'll be all right. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
He's not going to try and steal my spotlight.
No, definitely not.
Great.
Yeah, I think you'll have a really good time. And it'll be just like this podcast. Like you can just talk and hope that that didn't sound right. Wait, that didn't sound right. No, I mean I love the sound of your voice is what I meant. I didn't mean that you know what? I didn't mean that like that. That sounded wrong. Oh my God, I'm already playing the part of my dad. But this is going to go great. You let me know. How it goes.
Let's have a contest and see who can hook the other one first, right? Who gets the first friend acceptance and contact?
Yeah, Marsha. We'll name her Marsha, I think.
Marsha. Yeah. Okay.
Marsha.
This all sounds like a fantastic idea. Yeah. What? Oh my gosh.
Fun. Okay.
Well, at least we're losing weight as we're podcasting.
Yeah, we should get out of this booth before it goes. I mean, and apologies to anyone who like didn't think that this show met the mark, but like but we lost no, I'm just saying because like we're sweating, like we're losing weight who can do a podcast during a virtual workout? You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
that would be fun. Have you ever seen those things, you know, like you put them around your waist and they like zap you and that's how you lose weight and then you don't have to exercise? We should like do a Zapcast and put those things on and see how long we can go because they look like torture devices.
Yes, and now I will be mad if we don't do that. That sounds like a great idea.
I want a 6-pack.
Speaking of torture devices,
I need one more update because I'm almost done with How to Kill Your Family and I'm loving it. But they mentioned incel, which is something you taught me about last week or the week before.
You're welcome.
So thank you. Now, and I didn't have to look it up. I didn't have to close the book and go to my dictionary. I was like, got it. Got the reference. Thank you, Mandy.
Pretty outrageous, isn't it?
You make me want to be a better Mandy. So speaking of classic movies, we're going to watch a movie that came up for work for me. And I was like, now I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
Okay.
I freaking love this movie.
Okay.
And so I thought, why not rewatch it for work and make you watch it for the podcast? And I think you're going to love it too. I think you've seen it.
Oh.
But I think we need to watch Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I have. And I think I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see if it holds up.
Yeah. Great. Fine.
And
Drop Dead Gorgeous it is.
And By next week, the heat wave will have broken, hopefully.
Oh, God, please.
And we'll be back to our normal selves.
Yay! All right. I'll see you next week.
All right.